So yesterday we have seen TestNG part 1. Okay, so it's nothing but setting up the TestNG and then writing the test cases or the test files using the TestNG and executing them individually. Okay, so today we're going to see a few more topics on TestNG. So one is you know uh, running multiple tests. Okay, and observing how each test is executing, each and every methods are executing. Okay, we have many annotation methods, right? We have many annotation methods, and apart of that we also have test methods in every test file. Okay, now we are going to see so what is the order of each and every annotation method as well as test methods, and how to execute multiple tests, okay, together. Okay, so yesterday we have said executing each test individually. Let's say to execute the test 2 we did like this, and to execute the test 3 we did like this. Okay, so if I want to execute test 2 and test 3 and test 1, okay, if multiple are there, all those things, if I want to execute no more than one test file together, so that is also we are going to see executing multiple tests. Okay, so these three we are going to see. Okay, so in this executing multiple tests also there are different combination of execution. So all those things we are going to see in this class. Okay, so if you see the test 1, I'm having three test methods: test 1 m1, test 1 m2, test 1 m3. So I made this um, uh, naming convention to understand. Okay, so there are multiple tests we are having. Okay, test 1, test 2, test 3. Okay, so I named it as it is from this method is from test 1, so test 1 and the method 1. Okay, and this is method 2 and this is also from test 1, so I named it as test 1 m2 and test 1 m3. If you see test 3, it will be okay. You see, okay, so these I have to change it. It should be test 2 m2, test 2 m2, so that when you execute all the code, you can able to see, you can able to differentiate, so which method is called from which test file. Okay, how it is called, where from where it is called, all those things you can see. This is test 3 m1 and test 3 m2 and test 3 m3. Okay, so these many three test files we are having, and each test file is having three methods. Okay, and the method 3 we ignored, everywhere we ignored. Okay, we ignored. Now I'm going to execute all these files together using test suite concept. Okay, so test suite is nothing but combining multiple tests and executing together. Okay, so in TestNG, if you want to execute multiple tests together, you have to write a XML file. Okay, and you require to name it as suite. Okay, this is the first tag. In between we'll be having test tags. Okay, so you can name it. Okay, I can name it as basic test or functional test, and probably we can name it as, better we name it as, let's say, fund transfer test. Okay, and add payee test. Okay, if you see the package, so it says add payee test. Okay, and which is having test 2 and test 3. And if you see the package, it says fund transfer test, it is having test 1 file. Okay, so with the naming convention we are going ahead. Basically, if you take any testing framework, yeah, or any industry test code, if you see, so all these test files will be uh, separated with a proper package name. Okay, so by seeing this one, anyone can understand that. So all the test file in this package are belongs to, are going to test add payee functionality. if anyone see uh, this package, it says fund transfer test. So one can understand that, okay, all the test files are going to test fund transfer related functionality, right? So this is how packages and classes will be separated in any project. In the same way, so I have two tests. One is fund transfer test, where I'm going to include all the classes which are belong to fund transfer test, that is test 2 and test 3. And I also have another test, I named it as add payee test, where it's going to include all the classes which are belongs to fund transfer test. Okay, so that is how segregated, and I'm executing it. So you just need to select it and run as TestNG suite. So the one of the advantage of TestNG is it's gonna give a report immediately. So that's
So there we can name it as mock test and regression test like that also,
yeah,
right?
definitely, definitely.
Anything we want.
Yeah, yeah. So
The way we want to
let's
group it,
say
right?
you can create another test XML. Okay, so there you can name it as basic functional test, and then a regression test, and then performance test and system test. You can name it, and bring all your tests which are belongs to basic test and which are belongs to performance test. So you can separate it as the same way. Now I separated with the concept of module concept. Okay, so I have a fund transfer module. So for that module, all the test belongs to all the tests which are belongs to fund transfer module, I'm keeping it here. Okay, so let's say there is some code changes happen in the add page screen. Okay, in the development side, there is some functionality has changed in the add page module. Okay, so in that case, so you can test add page related test cases. Okay, and if any test which is having any interconnection with add page test, so those also you can test it. So you don't need to test entire suite. Let's say if you want to comment it, let's say you want to test only add pay related test, so you can just comment it. Okay, just comment it like this. Okay, so only add pay test related things will be executed. So with this suite concept, you have a flexibility what to execute, what not to execute. Okay, whatever you don't want to execute, you just comment it, that's it. Okay, let's say in the add pay test also only test 2 related functionality has changed. Okay, so then you don't want to execute this one, so you can simply comment it. Okay, you can also do
I
that.
have a question. So this we can do with TestNG, not with JUnit.
No, you can do with JUnit also, but
Okay.
you require to have ant, so ant will come into picture that time.
Okay. Without and we
So
can do it
directly
with J.
such kind of facility is not there in JUnit.
But TestNG without and
Yes,
also we can do
yes,
it, right?
exactly. We don't have any ant related jobs here. Okay,
Yes.
so we are not executing any ant command. So yeah, so without ant we can able to achieve this functionality with TestNG.
Oh,
Okay, so it's like those who are new to the testing. Okay, so they don't want they don't need to worry about all those and all those stuff, right? So it's simply
yes.
it's first of all it's more it's having more features than JUnit. Okay, so and better it we can use TestNG itself. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. Now we have executor, right? You can see, we see the report, it will give you in a very structured manner. Okay, so I have two tests. Okay, I have first of all I have suite one. Okay, in this suite one I have two tests. One is fund transfer test and another one is add pay test. In the fund transfer test I have executed this test file, test one file. Okay, and this test one is having test one one method, m1 method and m2 method. Okay, so you might be wonder where is m3 method. Okay, test one m3 method, because we ignored it if you remember. So we ignored the method 3, we ignored this method, right? Enabled equal to false. So it has a capability to avoid the ignored things. That is one thing. And if you see add pay test, we have test 2 and test 3, and each test 2 and test 3 having different methods, and those also executed. So that is one thing. Okay, so let me take you to another XML. Okay, so the another way of writing the code, sorry, another way of writing the test suite.
Okay, so this XML you have written by your own or it's automatically generated?
No, it has to be written by us.
Okay, it's not
Okay,
automatically
yeah,
generated,
yeah,
right?
you can have one sample file. Okay, from there itself we can configure other things.
I think I learned from somewhere we can generate also, right? And then we can modify. I'm not sure. I'm just asking.
Even I'm not sure. Even I gone through TestNG website, a proper website, but
Okay.
I was unable to see such kind of feature. Okay, let me go through properly, and I will handle your question. Okay.
Okay.
So there is a TestNG official site, right? So better to go through such kind of official site where you will be getting the accurate data. So I was gone through that sometime back. I didn't see that. Okay. Anyway, so if it is not system generated, even if it is you generating it, it's very simple, right? So there is a at the bottom, at the broad level, there is a suite tag, and you can have in the suite tag you can have multiple tests. Okay, so test starting tag and test ending tag, and there is classes. Okay, you can have multiple classes, that's it. And the same here also. Okay, so here only one class is there, I'm keeping here two classes, that's it. Okay, that's it, very simple. And coming to test 2, the other way of writing the test suite. So if you see here, it is pretty much similar to the previous one. I am not changing at all here. Okay, the other thing is, if you see this one, instead of classes I have taken the packages. Okay, so let's say you want to execute all the tests which are in for example add pay test or fund transfer test, you want to execute all those things. Okay, so whatever test file is there in this fund transfer test package, you want to execute all those test files. Okay, so in that case, so no, individually writing the classes one by one. Okay, individually writing the classes. Okay, it's better you just give the package, you just give the package. Okay, so it's going to take all the tests which are in this package. What is which, this is add pay test. There are two test files, test 2 and test 3. Okay, it's going to execute all the test files which are belongs to this particular package. So that's the reason I just given only package name, I have not given any test name, right? It's a purely package. You can see here. So the first one I named it as basic test, which is having test 1, and the second one I named it as functional test, which is having test 2 and test 3. So we nowhere mention test 2 and test 3, right? Those classes we nowhere mention. We just given the package. So now it's TestNG duty to and duty to pick up all the classes which are belongs to this add pay test package and execute it. Okay. So you can add multiple packages. Let's say right now I added only one package. If you want, you can add multiple package. Let's say uh, you take this one. Okay, copy it here. So instead of add pay, so we also having fund transfer, right? Fund transfer. Okay. Now this one I already included. I just removing it. Okay. You can execute once again. So now all these packages is going to execute. Okay, you can see it. So now only functional test. There is test 2, test 1 and test 3 all are coming. Okay, so I'm pre-modifying it. We'll see another way of executing the test suite. Okay. Can you make out the difference by seeing by remembering previous two? Can you make out the difference? Okay.
right?
Okay. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah. Test 2 is pretty straightforward. Okay. And it
Mm-hmm.
comes to test basic test if you come. So I introduced a new tag that is methods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This difference you observe, right?
Yes.
Okay. So usually in test 1 we have three methods. Test 1 M1, test 1 M2, test 1 M3. Okay. So we know method 3 is already ignored. That's okay. Now by specifying include the method name, by specifying the include and mentioning the method name, so this test 1, in the test 1 only method 1 is going to execute.
Oh, method 2 will not be executed, right?
It's not going to execute. We'll see that. Okay.
Uh, so if so, that means that if we don't ignore and we don't specify in XML, still it will work.
Yeah, we don't ignore and we don't specify in XML. That means that
Will be
particular
ignored.
method will be ignored. Okay, in the
Okay.
test 1 you can see only one method. Okay,
So by default, all will be included, and if
correct.
I specify, then
So this will, for example, you specifically ignored one test, okay, because it is not completed, okay.
mhm.
So while running, okay, maybe to verify some defect, while running, you don't want to include all the test methods, but you, want to include only one method, okay. So you can specify like this,
Okay.
okay. Now coming to test4.xml.
But Sudhir, the other class, extended class, parent class, we don't need to give those names, right? It will automatically come. We'll just give the name of the actual test case, right?
Which one? This is the one, right? You have to specify the class. In that class, what methods you want to execute, that we need to specify with the include tag.
Now, my question is, in the real-time project, the like we did, right? It's included so many things: screen util, beans.
Yeah,
Will give, and it will pull the data from all the related files or packages,
exactly.
right?
By any chance, you should not give utils or beans or screens or screen utils. Okay, so those are not test methods. Okay, those are not test methods.
Now, but it is connected, so it will pull by the test name,
Yeah.
right?
Okay,
Okay,
you
that's
you have giving here the specified class, right? You are giving the specified class name, fully qualified path name of a class. Okay, so it's going to pick only that particular class and that particular methods you specified. That's it. So I'm going to show you another uh, one. Okay, Ananya, can you mute yourself?
I am muted.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, now if you see, so this is pretty straightforward to the previous one. Okay, here two difference I can make it out. Okay, one is, so we ignored test one M3, but still I'm including. Okay, so see what going to happen. Okay, and the other one is I mentioned preserve order equal to true. Okay, so by default preserve order is true for any test. Okay, so preserve order is nothing but, so whatever the order you specified, so in the same order your test cases are going to execute in the same order. Okay. So in case if you make it as false, so the order is not going to be predicted. Okay. So right now I'm removing it. We know that by default it is true. Right now I'm removing it and make sure the test methods are executed in the same order where, however we mentioned. Okay, now I'm running it. Okay, I have to run from here. So we know test 1 M3 is ignored. Even though you include here, it's not going to pick it. Okay, So that's the reason that got avoided. The other one is, so we know preserve order is true by default. So you can see test1 m2 in the first test method, test1 m1 is the second test method. Let me change it to preserve order fast and see the difference. Okay, so see, it's not predicted. The order of execution is not predicted. So it might execute the in the order or it might not execute in the order. Okay, because the order is not predicted. We are not sure how it's going to execute, in which order it's going to execute. Sometimes the order might be preserved even though you make it as fast. Sometimes the order will be shuffled. Okay, because we are not aware of it.
It's random.
Yeah, it's random. Yeah.
Like
Now see.
test engine,
Yes,
J
J in
unit.
it. Yeah. So now you see it is shuffled. Maybe if you run multiple times, it might going to execute in the same order only. Okay. So that time, so you don't confuse. It is the order is not preserved. It may or may not execute the test case in a order. Okay. So that is about test NG part 2.